Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 35 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we're going to expand our iron smelting operation in addition to making silicon into iron. Enjoy. Okay, so now we're going to be producing at maximum 12 ore per second, which means we'll need 2 blast furnaces and then basically 2.5 setups of the induction furnace and casting machine. This stuff will probably move relatively soon, but for now, since we can kind of just make it symmetrical, well, almost symmetrical anyway, it's pipes. Put them right there, and right there. It just barely clears that gap. Okay, how many inserters? Quite a few. It's like a stack inserter for each side. Starting to pick up speed a little bit. Okay, and then down here, we basically need 3 induction machines, 8 casting machines. So that's like 2 setups of each. So let's see how well we can just copy this. Almost. This is kind of in the way. Let's get iron taken care of at least. Hey, look at that. We're actually backed up a little bit on iron finally. It's been a long drought. I think we're okay not upgrading copper at the moment, because it seems to be keeping up just fine. Specifically, the way we can check is by looking at these silos here, and that neither silo has a backup means that both sides are running at the speed they need to. But there's some more efficiencies to be found. Mainly doing the steel smelting. It requires iron ingots and add oxygen to make steel. So the steel ratio is the same here, but the setup will be simpler and run more efficiently. So let's grab that. Now the way this is set up right now is to consume all of the remaining iron ore. So let's see, how about start a new process here. Say we want steel, which goes right here, produces steel ingots. Let's do the molten steel, steel plates. Let's try to get a ratio on this. So it's not really going to be a clean ratio or anything, but 1 blast furnace goes into half of an induction furnace and 2 casting machines. And that will use up 8.4 of the ingots, and then whatever is remaining can go through the other machines. Now, I'm not actually going to set it up this way, I'm going to set it up backwards. So this isn't really a clean ratio or anything. I just wanted to check and see how it worked here. But we also need some oxygen. I won't do it the special way, because it's kind of complicated. That's more for a big setup, and it will produce some byproducts and whatnot. So I'll just do dirty water. Actually, let's put it right here. And we need some oxygen. It'd be nice if they're all lined up with this. Mainly for the hydrogen. Let's see, let's make this lined up. I'm actually going to go backwards here. So it can get balanced with that balancer there. Copy this. So we 1 to too. Oh, that'll actually fit right there. Okay. This thing is already here, so I'll just leave it. Go on that way. Oh wow, iron is completely backed up. We actually caught up. Kind of. Okay, now we're producing steel. Let's see, we still need to get rid of all this silicon here. Which we can do with iron casting too. But we've got some research in the way. We've got to do the advanced mechanical refining. Basically what this does is if you combine, instead of just combining 2 ore types, you combine 3. You'll create a mixture which you can then sort with no byproducts, or at least no slag or anything. And it doesn't require the use of a catalyst. You can get manganese, which we can put back into iron to make it easier, so that would be efficient. Or we can do copper and tin, but unfortunately we haven't brought in any crotinium or givelite yet, so we can't really do any of these. And then here's combinations of the mad clown stuff. But we need to research that to get rid of the silicon, so we will. How far down has the ammo made it? Okay, so it's catching up. Okay, so we're almost to the front of the wall here. And then of course it needs to back all the way up there. So we're still going to be using copper for some time. Okay, next step. The silicon smelting, which requires carbon. Then we can make monosilicon if our goal was to make circuits and whatnot. But it's not. All we want is the silicon ingots for now. This just requires carbon. That's easy enough to do. Finally, pumping out some steel. We have lots and lots and lots of machines all over the factory to upgrade with all this steel. Okay, next step. Cooling solutions. Basically, this allows us to build a cooling tower, and we can take steam and turn it back into purified water if that's something we want to do with our factory. So we'll do that. In the meantime, we can do something with our silicon. And we're making glass here. Looks like we still have to make it that way until we research this next tier. But that's okay, we haven't really been using much glass, so I'm just going to pick it all up and worry about that later. So we'll just delete that altogether. Come up here and say silicon. And we want to make ingots out of it. Ingredient input link. We need just one blast furnace. And the fuel will also be the carbon. So we'll just have carbon for the process and then carbon for the fuel. And it looks like a red inserter in and out. I guess I'll put it over here. Not sure where else to put it for now. Yeah, we need to get some carbon in here. Maybe right there. It's going to be a bit of beltception, but it should work. I kind of want to set this up to go at full speed just in case. We need that, because it can actually do a higher burst speed since it's coming out of a silo. Okay, cooling solutions is done. We're getting there. So the strand casting machine, I believe, makes yeah, it makes coils and wires and that sort of thing. So we just need to research it to move forward. And last step, making manganese ingots, which has some use, but we'll get to that later. That's the last thing we need to research, so let's get it done. Manganese is done, and finally to iron. So this unlocks an alloy recipe, where we could add half iron and half manganese to make molten iron, or half iron and half silicon. We're doing it for the silicon. The sheet coils are nice, but we don't really need to worry about those right now, so we're just here to use up all the silicon. And there's so much stuff all over the place to upgrade. And we need 6 metal mixing furnaces here. Steel metal mixing furnace. Oh, not quite yet. And you still need to research those. Okay, skip for now. Research has slowed down quite a bit. And it looks like it's because the iron ingots are being monopolized by the steel production. So I have another idea that we can do here to have some priority. There we go. Now the output will always go down here to iron production first, and then steel production second. Still running at full blast for both sides. It's quite interesting. Although we might be able to increase output a little bit because we're not fully using stereotype. And as it so happens, we have a second stereotype patch right here. It's kind of funny, but we need every little bit of stereotype and sapphirite we can get our hands on right now. So we are using all of it. Let's see. Well, since our output is sufficiently high enough, we probably can get by with a yellow belt output. Copper is high enough for yellow belts as well. Eventually I'm just going to upgrade everything. And just use upgrade planner and whatnot, but for now, I'll just drag and drop these since we don't have that many resources and can't really afford to upgrade the entire factory right now. Okay, now we need to use up all of these silicon ingots. So we'll mix that with the iron right there. And make the plates the normal way. So this kind of messes up the ratio a bit up here, but this is getting a little too complicated and outdated for what we need, so I'm probably going to replace these calculations at some point, but it's not really that important that they be precise now, considering that the factory is powered up and it's processing things a lot faster than it was. But I just want to know the ratio, so we need 1 blast furnace and 1 induction furnace. Or the blast furnace we already have, so we need 1 induction furnace and 3 casting machines. So basically something kind of like this. Right there. So we need 1 red inserter for each resource. So I'm going to put one right there. I'll switch this to the alloy. And we don't quite have circuit network yet, so I want to set priority where the silicon will always get consumed first. So, let's see, let's move that light. You can have this come up here. And then around. And then back down the other way. And let's just do some beltception. Come around there. And then the priority will be set up for that. And we just need to deliver silicon ingots. Just up here. Looks like it doesn't need to be yellow, but I'll leave it as yellow. Let's upgrade all of this. Okay, looking good. And let's put the output right there. Do a splitter, make it priority. So iron plates made from silicon will go through first. They won't get picked up by the chest here, but whatever. Good enough. And technically this is misplaced, this chest. For leftovers should probably be on this belt or down here, but it's good enough. Actually, I'm going to upgrade this to yellow belts. These function as buffer chests, basically. So even if it can't keep up with the yellow belt, it still works a little better. And look at that. Solid belts now. Of iron, anyway. Now copper's a little low, but copper's gonna be that way. But hey, look at that. It's slowly catching up with the copper ammo. So it's gonna keep consuming it for quite a bit. But that is okay because we're getting iron out of it. I think I'm gonna upgrade this to full power. Just because we have such a large amount of silicon left over. Now, since we're so full in resources, we probably can start doing research again. It would be nice to finish up the stack inserter bonus. Okay, stack inserters are done. Man, so many choices. It's hard to decide. Since I'm in the process of upgrading all of the steel items, might as well get the steel furnaces. The chemical furnace and the metal furnace. Well, that one has more prerequisites, so maybe not that one. Yeah, that filter inserter, air quotes filter inserter, the express inserter is clearly misplaced. Solar power. That's appealing. It's going to use up all that glass that we're not producing right now, though. That's actually a pretty good goal to have. For now, I'll just research some of this basic repeatable stuff. because I'm still kind of waiting on the resources to catch up, but there are some useful things we can do, like further upgrading the damage of our weapons. And the shooting speed, might as well get both of them. Looks like these belts are falling behind. So they all need to be red. Looks like our fuel belt is running low as well. It's due to coal petering out here. Alright, looks like we need to prospector it. And since it's next door, let's handle this stereotype. Much faster. Uh-oh. Power's running low. Yeah. That is because you're running out of resources. I'm kind of at the point where I don't want to bother with the white belts anymore. So I'm just going to remove those from the toolbar. I'll leave them down where they currently are, but I won't place any more actively. Probably should upgrade this to fast belts. Let's increase the copper production as well. We just need to pick this up. And move it elsewhere. Electrolysis is kind of an empty node, but let's take care of it. Ooh, lab research speed would be mighty nice. Both of them. Now that we've fixed our iron problem, we can continue to research new technologies and expand our factory with that. But that's going to have to wait till the next episode. I'll see you later.